Good afternoon. I call to order the March 4th, 2025 regular meeting of the Minneapolis Heritage Preservation Commission. For the record, my name is Marie Bjornberg, and I serve as chair of the commission. Just a reminder to silence your cell phones and other electronic devices and to speak clearly into the microphone when speaking at the dais or giving testimony. Would the clerk please call the roll so that we may verify the presence of a quorum?
Councilmember Alexander.
Present.
Booty.
Present.
Hare.
Present.
Carato.
Present.
Melblom.
Present.
Thomas.
Present.
Wallace is absent. Rodriguez.
Present.
Vice Chair Maston.
Present.
Chair Bjornberg.
Present.
There are 9 members present.
Let the record reflect that we do have quorum and that Commissioner Wallace provided proper notice that they have a conflict this afternoon and their absence is excused. Our first order of business is to adopt the agenda for this meeting. The agenda is as follows. The consent agenda will include item number 4, 761 Washington Avenue North, Ward 3. Is there any opposition from commissioners to the staff recommendations for this item? Is there anyone in the public that wishes to speak in opposition for this item? Hearing no opposition to placing this on consent, we will approve this consent item in one motion at the start of the meeting. Commissioners, may I have a motion to approve the proposed agenda?
Melblom moves.
Thank you, Commissioner Melblom. Is there a second?
Maston seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner Maston. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? The agenda is approved. Our next order of business will be to approve the minutes for our February 4th, 2025 meeting. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Hare so moves.
Thank you, Commissioner Hare. Is there a second?
Alexander seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner Alexander. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions, including commissioners who were absent?
Maston abstains.
The minutes are approved. Before I open the hearing to public comments, let me summarize the process for conducting the public hearing. First, we will act on the consent agenda we just set. Once items on the consent agenda are approved, the commission is done with those items and applicants may contact planning staff tomorrow about next steps. I will now open the public hearing on the consent agenda item number 4, 761 Washington Avenue North, Ward 3. Again, do commissioners oppose the staff recommendation for this item? Are there any members of the public who oppose the staff recommendation for this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing on the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve staff findings and recommendations for this item?
Melblom moves.
Thank you, Commissioner Melblom. Is there a second?
Carato seconds.
Thank you, Commissioner Carato. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Any abstentions? The item is approved as recommended by staff on the agenda, and applicants may contact planning staff about next steps. Do staff have announcements?
Thank you, Chair Bjornberg and Commissioners. My name is Andrea Burke, and I am the supervisor for the Historic Preservation Team in CPED. I do have a few announcements. First, wanted to mention that the Minneapolis Preservation Awards are coming up next week. It is Thursday, March 13th at the Capri Theater, which is 2027 West Broadway. They start at about 5 p.m. is when you can start showing up, and they last until 7:30. The award recipients have been announced, so thank you to those who volunteered to sit on the jury here. So you can go look at that at the AIA's website, and there are several projects that are in historic districts, so in Minneapolis, of course. With that, I do have a few other There was one appeal I did neglect to mention at the last HPC meeting that we had heard just that day. We had received an appeal on a condition for a project that was heard at HPC. It was on February 4th. It was for 204 Fifth Avenue Southeast. There were a variety of scopes of work that were included in that project, and then there were a number of conditions, and the applicants appealed one of the conditions and were granted the appeal. So I wanted to provide that update. There was also an appeal of 3501 Hiawatha Avenue, the demolition of the grain elevators that actually just went to Business Housing and Zoning Committee today. That appeal was denied. The appeal was to, of course, overturn the HPC's recommendation to approve the demolition. So the demolition will continue as planned by the developers. And then also wanted to let you know that a while ago, we had spent a lot of time revising our website and revamping it, reorganizing it, and the second part of that was to revise all of our landmark and historic district profiles to be in plain language. I guess this came from a federal directive, and so we spent almost an entire year doing this, systematically rewriting every single one of our over 200 designated properties, descriptions with pictures and into plain language, so it is more readable on the website, and it was a huge accomplishment. That is now live, so it is open. You can go there, you can navigate to it, you can see it. Anybody from the public can see it, and just want to really much thank everybody on our team, the Historic Preservation team. We had help from outside of our team to do this. We had communications help, and I just am very happy and proud that we were able to accomplish this, and to finally get this website into shape and more accessible to the public. For information on the context study, there has been a draft that has been given to the State Historic Preservation Office, HPC volunteers. This is of the African American Historic and Cultural Context Study, African American Heritage Work Group members, and it was also posted online in the agenda for the last week's work group meeting. So if anybody is interested who did not specifically volunteer to receive a copy, you are welcome to go to that agenda and take a look, the city's agenda for a draft of that context study. Comments are coming together. I think we're having comment period until the end of March for some of those folks that are reviewing it. And then also the architectural history survey of the 25 properties that is going along in conjunction with that context study is in progress at the moment. And then there was the most recent meeting of the African American Heritage Work Group was last week. Our next meeting will be in March, on March 25th. And then also just a heads up, there will be a few more meetings, and then the work group will conclude in June. And then I think my last announcement is just it is open appointment season for other boards and commissions, not HPC, because we are fully seated. Very happy about that. But if you know anybody who is interested in sitting on a board and commission at the City of Minneapolis, it is spring appointment season to direct them to the city's website where they can look to see what seats are open for different boards and commissions. But that concludes my updates. Thanks.
Thank you. Do commissioners have any announcements? Okay. With that, we have completed all items on the agenda for this meeting. There being no other business to come before this meeting, and without objection, I'll declare this meeting adjourned. The next regular meeting of the HPC is March 18th. Thank you.